Hello, and welcome to Overnight Gaming. My name is Warrior, and this is episode 1 of my new Let's Play series, and we're playing a game called Tyranny. This is a game from, I believe, 2015, 16, sorry, and it's a bit of a funny one, I think, if I can recall. I believe you actually play as an evil character, the arbiter of law in a world devastated by war and conquered by a despot. Will you work inside the system or try to dismantle it? And will it be for the glory of Kairos or for the good of the world or for your own ambition? So it's another game like the Banner Saga where it's very story driven and your decisions matter. So, without further ado, let's get into it. New game. Alright, expert mode is definitely not what we're going to do. What do we got here? Normal, let's go normal difficulty. The trial of iron is enabled. Only one save slot is permitted. If your party is defeated, the game ends. Your save is lost. And you must start again. Nah, let's not do that. Alright. Let's just go with normal difficulty. Armor can never reduce damage below 1. Fair enough.
For over 400 years, the armies of Kairos the Overlord have swept across the known world. All who stood against them fell before their might. Even the Archons, women and men of immense power, were forced to kneel, chained to the Overlord's will. Now Kairos' final conquest has come to our corner of the world, and two of the Overlord's armies compete for the honor of taking our lands. The elite disfavored, and the teeming horde of the Scarlet Chorus. The voices of Nerat, spy master and Archon of secrets, guides the fierce and undisciplined masses of the Scarlet Chorus. With each battle, the Scarlet Chorus grows stronger, as the defeated are given a simple choice: serve or die. Graven Ash, Archon of War and the Overlord's most loyal general, leads the disfavored. Though small in number, Kairos' ironclad legion has never met true defeat in open battle. Watching over the two generals is Tunon, the Adjudicator, Archon of Justice, eldest of Kairos' minions. Tunon brings Kairos' laws to newly conquered lands, aided by the Fatebinders, judges and executioners of the Overlord's laws. You were among the youngest of the court of Fatebinders when Kairos' armies came to our lands. How could we have known that the fate of thousands would rest in your hands?
Ooh, interesting. Nice little setup. Alright, here we go. Body type. Is there a dad bod body type? Yeah, regular skin. Alright, let's not get too shaken up about this. Alright, roll. In the Northern Empire, where you were born, men enjoy equal protections under the laws of the Overlord Kairos. In the southern lands of the Tiers, only men may own or captain ships, but real estate is restricted to women. Men may lease, but durable ownership of the land in the Tiers always passes to eldest daughters or sister. Most sons enter their father's professions by their mid-teens. Those without a profession or family lands to work can find purpose by pledging service to one of the Overlord's mighty Archons. Criminals, derelicts, and others are often conscripted into the armies of the Archons. If a child cannot forge his own scheme, he will certainly find one in battle. Alright. Cool. Face and hair. Yeah, why not? That looks good. And let's go. Okay, there's nothing too outrageous. Classic mohawk. Nah. That's well, nah, that looks pretty. That looks average too. Yeah, let's go that guy. That one. Then we gotta have a beard. Yeah. That's the one. Hair color. Let's go brown. Male aggressive.
Quiet down. My wounds are slowing me down. I need rest.
Yeah, that one sounds good. Alright, tattoos. What do we got here? That's pretty good. I like the world tree sort of style. That's cool. Let's go with this. That sort of full body one. Let's go. Yeah, dark purple. And dark purple. Yeah, that looks good. Alright. And portrait. Ah. Don't look like any of these. I think you'd just go to a portrait of like your guy. Anyway. And does it really matter that much? Let's go that one. At least you can't see the face to see how different it looks. Alright, history. How did you join Kairos' army? Pit fighter. Oh geez, there's a lot of stuff here, isn't there? Pit fighter, not wishing to pay to feed and house too, the madman that purchased your mother sold you to the Proving Grounds, the Northern Empire's bloodiest, most notorious fighting arena. Given only enough training to assure the show isn't over too soon, your natural prowess and survival instinct lead you to one victory after another. There was no elegant swordplay, no formalized duels, just brutal melee and the stench of blood, shit, and bronze with each day's gruesome necessities. It is said that any fighter that slays a dozen others in the grand melee is given her freedom, but in 300 years, only 3 warriors have ever walked away from the Proving Grounds. When the closing horns sounded and 13 corpses lay about your feet, you became the 4th to be granted freedom to thunderous applause. But this autonomy was short-lived. Within days, word of your accomplishment made its way to the Archon of Justice. Yep. Alright, pit fighter. Pit fighter sounds good. Next. Primary expertise. Sword and shield, great sword. Bigger unarmed attacks, dual wielding. +6 dual wield, +5 parry, +5 athletics, +3 subterfuge. Two-handed weapons, parry and athletics. Oh yeah, let's go. Great sword. Who doesn't like a great sword? Dual wielding. Advantage of versatility as each weapon can deal different types of damage. Maybe dual wielding. What do we got? Choose an ability. Flurry of blows. Damage 9 to 11 slash ×1 primary weapon versus parry. Number of attacks 2. Valid weapons, dual wield, thrown weapons, one-handed weapons, two-handed weapons, unarmed combat. You should double attack on your target. What do we got here? Dual wielding. Oh, slice. Let's go. Carefully placed attack that attempts to open a major artery, leaving the target bleeding. Let's dual wield. Yeah, let's go dual wielding. Alright. And yep, let's go with slice. Secondary expertise is short bow, yeah, a little bit of ranged, a little bit of melee, why not? Art shot, 12 to 16 pierce, bleeding for 27 seconds. Yeah, let's go heart shot. Banner, here we go. Gotta go purple and cream. Let's go with always do like the eagle. Yep. Why not, eh? Name. Oracle. Easy enough done. Attributes. Points available. Might determines the physical strength. Leads to more powerful attacks, stronger abilities, as well as increase in endurance defense. Alright, finesse. Attribute describes a character's physical and mental precision. Finesse is used to determine accuracy of attacks and spells, as well as increasing worn armor's chances to reduce a hit. Finesse sounds pretty good. Quickness determines how often a character can use their abilities and spells in combat. Vitality, physical health, and their strength of personality. It also increases the will defense. Wits. Character's mental acuity. Their ability to observe their environment and pick up on clues. Wits is used to increase spell strength as well as increase the magic defense. And resolve determines the character's ability to endure physical and mental challenges. Resolve is the primary attribute used to derive the endurance, will, and magic defenses. Increases the durations of afflictions. Alright, well. Let's you know what, let's just go with 3 and 3. Oh no, we've only got 8. Okay, so you know what, let's just do something like this. Go all round. Let's go on all round. Alright, 20 points available. Bows dual wield. Alright, so we got 32 in dual wield. Let's bump these up, pal. Let's just move unseen, dodge, or just bump up a little bit of everything, huh? Magic staff, we don't need. I don't think we need any of that. Yeah, let's go heavy into dual wield. Why not? Conquest. Selecting the Conquest option will allow you to play through Kyros's conquest of the tiers, choosing how your character was involved in the invasion. This gives you the most control over the starting state of the game and how other factions will react to your character. Alright, Conquest it is. Next. Here we go. Alright.
All
Bit
the
of a
world
setup.
has fallen to Kairos, and now the Overlord's eye is on the Tiers, our home. The last corner of the world free of Kairos's reign. 2 armies, the Disfavored and the Scarlet Chorus, march south from the Northern Empire, the last realm to fall to Kairos a century prior.
Century prior. Alright, this Kairos guy is pretty old then. Spacebar to continue.
In the early days of 428, Kairos's armies arrive at the Gates of Judgment, the mountainous border that we Tiersmen so long believed unassailable. Unable to agree on a unified plan of defense, the various leaders of the Tiers sit and wait for each other to deal with the conquerors, until it's too late.
Matt, I like that. Good art style. During the Conquest, you will decide your character's actions during Kyros's invasion of the Tiers, shaping the world through which you will adventure over the course of the game. Each choice you make affects your character and how major factions of the Tiers respond to you. Your decisions matter. Choose wisely. Oh. Bastard City stood on the northern border between Kyros's empire and the Tiers, built upon a natural harbour at the crossroads between realms. The city was a nexus of commerce. To the Tiers, it was the centre of all wealth. To a northerner, it was little more than a backwater trading post. Its symbolic status as a gateway to the continent made it a natural first target in Kyros's military conquest. Circumstances were ideal for you to prove your worth as a soldier in Kyros's armies. Taking this city would send a message to the rest of the Tiers. Kyros's will is insurmountable. So who is this? Kairos is a name out of legend. For centuries, the Overlord has consolidated power, sending vast armies to swallow the entire realms. The most powerful mystic the world has ever seen, Kairos can issue edicts, magical proclamations that level cities, spread pox, sunder the lands, or change the course of seasons. Okay. Next. Alright, Gates of Judgment. In the first major engagement of the war, Kyros's armies crossed the mountains and established a foothold, or infiltrate the Tiers. Both armies sent their forces to prepare the way. Select a token on the map to begin. Cross the mountains and establish a foothold, or both armies sent their forces to prepare the way. Let's go Gates of Judgment. The armies of Kairos took the battle to the Gates of Judgment, trumpeting the opening call of the conquest of the Tiers. The 2 armies, the Disfavored and the Scarlet Chorus, brought their distinctive sense of order and chaos to the assault. You went to battle alongside the army whose approach best suited your strengths. Disfavored? Yes. Let's go the Disfavored. Standing shield to shield with Kyros's ironclad elite, you advance on the mercenary army, purchased by the nobles of the Bastard City. The Legion wanted to send a message to the Tiers that superior breeding and disciplined training would win the day. You rushed with the chaotic mass of the Scarlet Chorus, flanked the Bastard City's army, and drove them to flee. Yeah, let's go with the Disfavored. Bastard City learned too late that a military is earned and never bought. The mercenary army quickly found themselves outclassed by the superior tactics and formation of the disfavored. Those few who lived to the end of the battle were rounded up, the weak executed, and the strong enslaved to haul the army's wagons on the journey south. Right, feeding the host. You found a way to feed Kyros's armies in enemy territory, or judge the enemy. You decided the fate of enemy soldiers captured in battle. Judge the enemy. Oh, you can click on both of them, okay. So, judge the enemy. The soldiers of the tiers fell by the hundreds, and Kyros's armies could not agree on how to handle what few survivors they dragged back to camp. Befitting your role, the commanders turned to you to decide the fate of those who occupied prison pens. There were only enough prisoners to support the plan of a single army. Against the most optimistic projections, the disfavored and the Scarlet Chorus made short work of the local defences. They did so well that their armies quickly outpaced their supply caravans. Troops were plentiful, but food was scarce. You only had time to execute one plan to secure provisions. The disfavored needed slaves to haul their gear, dig latrines, and keep their pallets warm at night. He consigned the survivors of battle to their subsequent role among Graven, Ash, and noble troops. You gave prisoners the chance to serve in Kyros's army or die. The Scarlet Chorus was in need of your extra troops to fill up the vanguard, and your former enemies would occupy those slots nicely. You authorized disfavored troops to confiscate food and supplies from traveling merchant caravans. The tiers had already spent ignorant centuries glutting themselves outside of Kyros's law. He authorized the Scarlet Chorus to send their horde out to pillage from farms and villages. Spreading the infamy of Kyros's army prepared the tiers for the reality of impending conquest. You know what, I'm going to go with... feeding the hosts. And yeah, the disfavored. After raiding the wagons of unsuspecting caravans and securing days' worth of provisions and supplies, the disfavored found a cache of goods behind a hidden panel. They confiscated potions and elixirs bound for secret contacts within the bastard city. The hall filled the disfavored larder with provisions for the following year and denied the defenders of the bastard city supplies that would be desperately needed in the siege to come. Taking the bastard city. The armies of Kyros amassed around the bastard city, the first bastion of the tiers to fall. Both armies longed to storm the walled outpost, the Scarlet Chorus howling for plunder, and the disfavored forming an unbreakable shield wall. Your prowess on the field of battle had carried them this far, but there was one more step before total victory. Both the armies had inspired schemes to take the bastard city. Which did you support? You joined the disfavored vanguard in a direct assault upon the city gates. No fortification would stand before the unstoppable legion. Oh, you get abilities out of it. You joined the Scarlet Chorus in setting fire to the city and blocking the gates. The defenders would surrender or burn. Or you led a mixed band of disfavored and Scarlet Chorus scouts over the city walls to sabotage its defenses. Yeah, I like that one. Though it was challenging to earn the cooperation of both armies, their shared interest in taking down the city defences allowed your scouts to work as a single unit. Once your forces scaled the walls, a mixture of tactics and savagery destabilized the city guard, who quickly lost their command over the defences and were forced to surrender. Lacking the support of archers or siege weapons, the bastard city fell quickly to Kyros's superior might. But the bastard city is down. Man, this is really in depth, isn't it? Alright. The bastard city settled into a new state of normalcy, with every tower displaying Kyros's banner. Your name was whispered alongside rumors of a decorated career to come. The armies divided into two fronts and migrated south. Tunon sent word that you were to join the next frontier of Kairos' conquest, either as judge and overseer of the settlement of Lethian's Crossing, or as a war advisor with the armies advancing into the realm of Apex. Lethian's Crossing. Deposits of iron made the settlement Lethian's Crossing a strategic war asset. Kairos sent the forge-bound smith mages of exceptional skill to establish a flow of weaponry. Tunon the Adjudicator sent one of his fate binders to ensure the enforcement of Kairos' law, or Apex. The troops of the mountain realm of Apex stood idle in the safety of their valley, biding their time as their neighbours in the bastard tier fell. In the second year of war, a joint force of the disfavored and Scarlet Chorus crossed over the mountains to take control of the tier's central valley. Do like weapons. Let's go with Lethian's Crossing. Year 2 of Kairos' conquest. I like the style of the game. It's cool. Years ago, Lethian the Bold founded a small merchant town as the intersection of ancient old walls. A pact between the settlers and the mercenary company meant that caravans were able to travel without fear of bandits or bane, and the town thrived in modest insignificance. Lethian's Crossing drew Kairos' attention for the iron deposits in the surrounding hills. With the region under Kairos' control, the northern smith mages could set up workshops to refine ore and arm the disfavored with the finest weapons in the known world. The Archon of Secrets dismantled the mercenary support with a generous bribe, taking the crossing in a bloodless victory. Tunon dispatched you to travel alongside Kairos' forces to bring order to the region. Alright, the iron must flow. You found a clever solution to improve production of iron weapons and armor. Cult of Siren, Archon of Song's power, ensnared the mind of a disfavored soldier. Siren, Archon of Song, used her arcane charm to lure locals into joining Kairos' army. As a patroness of the Scarlet Chorus, her efforts were critical to the conscription of new recruits. When an enthralled, disfavored soldier joined her cult, his company feared that the Archon was growing out of control and needed to be stopped. In Scarlet Chorus tradition, you sent the latest batch of cultists to the front lines of the Apex campaign. Those who survived were welcome to remain in Kairos' military, and their performance would stand as testimony to Siren's effectiveness. Disfavored demanded that the Archon of Song cease her recruitment practices, and that they allowed to violently subdue her cult of followers. The loss of soldiers was a significant setback to the Scarlet Chorus. Well, no, I don't want to do that. Kairos' smith mages worked day and night to create weapons. No one faulted their dedication, yet production was low. The plans that came to light proved divisive to the disfavored and Scarlet Chorus. On one hand, any additional manpower was needed for fighters, not forgers. On the other hand, the celebrated weaponry of Kairos' armies needed to be fiercely guarded. Scarlet Chorus took refugees from the recent influx and forced them to serve in Kairos' military. You repurposed these individuals to haul wagons of iron for the smith mages. This proved an inconvenience to the Scarlet Chorus, who relied on their force of numbers to be effective in the field. You conscripted help from the local tribe of Beastmen. Their strength would more than offset their disobedience. The disfavored protested that savages have access to the secrets of iron, but their voices were few compared to the support of the Scarlet Chorus. Yeah, I kind of want to go with like half-half. I don't think I'm really one or the other when it comes to the two armies. So let's get the Beastmen involved. The Scarlet Chorus were overjoyed to learn of a beastmen conscription and graciously lent their support to your cause. The local beastmen were subdued and yoked to iron-bearing wagons, where their boundless strength and tirelessness proved critical to the smith mages. The disfavored grew agitated about exposing the secrets of iron to savages. You attempted to allay their concerns, but your words fell flat before a stubborn, uncompromising audience. No, you can't make everyone happy. Alright, pick of the armory. Since you aided the production of weapons, commanders of both armies lobbied for additional arms. They offered all manner of bribes to be next in line for a fitting session with the masters of the forge. How did you sate the lust for iron? You allowed no changes to the orderly dispensation of iron and punished those who tried to bribe you twice. That sounds like a good one. Guardian's Due. Kyros's armies used Lethian's Crossing as a reprieve for the war. The city grew more crowded as a mercenary army hired by the Archon of Secrets occupied the barracks, where they drained resources and escalated tensions. The disfavored wanted nothing to do with the sellswords, but the Scarlet Chorus sought to invite them into the fold. No, you know what? I'm gonna go back here, and I'm just gonna go with the middle option. Punish those who tried to bribe you twice. That sounds good. Using language that left nothing open to interpretation, you let both of the commanders know that bribery would not be tolerated in Kyros's military. That didn't stop either of them from seeking you out again, making promises of wealth and advancement if you showed special favor. Deciding that enough was enough, you ordered both of the commanders flogged in view of their armies, letting pain and humiliation teach them where reason had failed. Yeah. Who controlled the crossing? Tragedy struck when a mercenary hired by the voices of Narat injured a forge-bound artisan, leaving him unable to practice his craft. Tunin ordered that the mercenaries to leave the city in the hands of Kyros's more responsible servants. Only a token garrison could be left behind while the armies returned to the front. As the disfavored and Scarlet Chorus showed increasing tension and hostility towards each other, Tunon decreed it best that only one force have control of the crossing. Granted control of the Lithian's Crossing to the disfavored. Yeah, we'll go with the disfavored on this because they do have their weapons. Disfavored placed a modest garrison in the settlement of Lethian's Crossing. Though the force was larger than might be needed to police the small settlement, protecting the forge-bound ironsmiths became the true agenda of the defense force, as these magical craftsmen kept the disfavored invasion force suited in iron. Relieved at the departure of the Scarlet Chorus, the citizens of Lethian's Crossing felt they got the least of two burdens. You received word from Graven Ash thanking you for your decision. The forge-bound and their weaponry could not be entrusted to the voices of Narat. Okay. With the mercenaries expelled and Lethian's Crossing under new leadership, Kyros's forces congratulated themselves on bringing order to the settlement and guaranteeing a productive flow of resources. Over the course of the diversion, the army front advanced further into the tiers. Your skills were needed in the realm of Azure, Stalwart, or the Vellum Citadel. With its easily defended position and rich military tradition, the realm of Stalwart was the most formidable realm in the tiers, or Azure. Kyros dispatched the Archon of Stone to subjugate the nation of Azure. Or Vellum Citadel. Kyros's conquering gaze fell upon the Vellum Citadel. Its treasures, its knowledge, its secrets. Yes, it's all very interesting though, isn't it? Geez, I'm not sure. Let's go Azure. Just because I can't decide on the other two. Your theory of Kairos' conquest. The nation of Azure, once the richest settlement of the tiers, sat on verdant, fertile plain. As the disfavored clashed with Azure defenders, the Scarlet Chorus contended against the region's tribal beastmen, who protected their ancestral lands with incredible fury. Kairos dispatched the Archon Khan to break the stalemate and force Azure into submission. The colossal man of stone and flesh arrived as instructed, but earning his cooperation was a tall order even for you. Stalked by shadows. After a roaming pack of beastmen slaughtered a disfavored patrol, the Scarlet Chorus responded by laying claim to the beast for their army, while the disfavored readied a company to enact vengeance. The disfavored legion considered the beast beyond taming, and the butchers of their northern brethren needed to be brought to justice. And the Archon of Stone carved a deadly path through Azure, using his powers to blight the land. The Scarlet Chorus complained that his tactics left no farmland to feed the growing army. Since Khan marched with the disfavored, the Scarlet Chorus held the legion responsible for the destruction of the lost harvests. You ordered Khan's disciples, the disfavored Earthshakers, to use their magic to repair the arable land destroyed by the Archons. You ordered the Archon of Stone may do as he wishes. Oh, well, I'm gonna go with the Scarlet Chorus on this one. Get the land back to a state. At Khan's rate of destruction, the land of Azure would soon be unable to sustain crops, but Kairos wanted a conquered land and not a barren wasteland. The Scarlet Chorus voiced their concerns and you backed them, going as far as to enlist disfavored mages for aid. Though loath to pause their studies and focus on agriculture, the mages grudgingly assented and travelled with the rear guard, working to heal the land as they went. Alright. Archon of Stone refused to rejoin the war camp, loudly denying Kairos' claim over Azure. Nothing less than a full unit of soldiers could subdue the treacherous Archon. Yet neither army was willing to risk lives taking him down. You delivered the order that sent Kairos' forces marching up to Khan. Ooh. Alright. Forced into the fray, the Archon of Stone went missing during the campaign as disfavored mages busied themselves with the search for Khan. The Scarlet Chorus forced the mages into combat against their will, during which 2 were slain. Furious at the waste of trained specialists, the disfavored demanded that the Scarlet Chorus be punished. Scarlet Chorus had the advantage of numbers and speed. You ordered them to deploy their numerous scouts to scour the countryside and find the alleged traitor Khan. And Khan brought them victory. The disfavored hailed him as one of their number. Khan defied the will of the Overlord. It fell to the disfavored to track him down and get answers. Yes. Disfavored. No, actually Scarlet Chorus. Let's get them. Seldom praised for their subtlety, the howling mob of Scarlet Chorus took to the wilderness in great numbers. Though they scoured the region from top to bottom and found a wealth of evidence to suggest Khan's passing, they could not locate the Archon. The evidence they found suggested that Khan had amassed a following of local beastmen, the implications of which troubled Kairos' army. Edict of Stone. The Archon of Stone made brazen declarations that Kairos had no claim to rule the Tiers. Soon after, word arrived that Kairos would dispatch this rebellious minion with an edict. Having shown a stern hand against the disfavored in the past, Tunon deemed it proper that you deliver punishment. Tunon selected you for the honor of proclaiming Kairos' Edict of Stone, a magical spell with the power to destroy the Archon. As he sensed his approaching doom, Can began an assault on Plainsgate, the largest human settlement of the area. It fell to you to send Kairos' forces into a suicide mission to halt Can's destruction while you completed the proclamation of the edict. Send the disfavored. Send the Scarlet Chorus. Send both armies. You believed that the only chance of slowing Can's assault was to commit the full force of Kairos' armies against him. It was a desperate gamble. If you were wrong, there would be no one left alive to warn the other Archons of your failure. Still, you ordered both disfavored and Scarlet Chorus forces to march against the Archon of Stone while you read the Overlord's edict. Knowing there was little chance of survival, you ordered the disfavored to march against the Archon of Stone as he neared the city of Plainsgate. You hoped that the elite of Kairos' armies would delay Can long enough for you to read the Overlord's edict. Believing that there was a slight chance that their superior numbers could hold off the Archon of Stone, you sent the Scarlet Chorus to delay Can's march on Plainsgate. You hoped you would have enough time to read Kairos' edict before Can reached the city. Yes, this is a tough one. What? Yeah, let's just go middle of the road. Disfavored and Scarlet Chorus alike questioned the wisdom of this command. You were uncompromising. This approach was the only guarantee to hold the Archon's destruction. The disfavored phalanx shattered under Can's fury, and the Scarlet Chorus mob was reduced to a smear under his foot. The city of Plainsgate suffered little damage at all as the armies kept Can occupied, a small beacon of hope among the devastation. As you read the Edict of Stone, the earth under the battlefield groaned open, spitting up outcroppings of rock that obliterated the surrounding landscape for miles. When the land heaved open to take Can, the Archon allowed it with serene acceptance. The Edict of Stone. With the lands blighted and unrecognizable, the realm of Azure was left utterly ruined by the events of the war. In times to come, the Tiers will call this blasted region the Stone Sea, for the treacherous rock formations and persistent earthquakes became the defining features of this once verdant land. Scarlet Chorus established a sprawling camp in the shattered rocky terrain and quickly absorbed those displaced by the upheaval of the land. These hapless refugees were put to work as slaves and soldiers, and the Chorus slowly built themselves a makeshift fortress in the blighted, quake-ridden realm. Your tour of duty in the broken lands of Azure was complete. You didn't have long to rest before Tunon called you into service once more. I wonder if there's a series of decisions you can make to save that region. Conquest complete. You have reached the end of Kairos' conquest. Do you want to continue or erase your progress and start over? Yeah, let's just continue. We made the decision, so gauntlets change how much unarmored attack damage your characters will do. Makes sense, I suppose.
The year is 431, and Kairos' invasion has shattered all major opposition in the Tiers. The Younger Realms, the Bastard Tier, the Free Cities. All who defied Kairos lay broken by battle, or bowed in surrender. The two armies of the Overlord, the Disfavored and the Scarlet Chorus, now control our lands. But our will is not yet extinguished. Not entirely. In the Valley of Vendrian's Well, those of us unwilling to bow to Kairos have banded together in defiance. Violating an oath of surrender from 2 years prior, we have staged a bloody uprising, murdering the disfavored and Scarlet Chorus garrison in a midnight assault.
This guy with his spear through her head, no, javelin through his head, that's pretty brutal.
With their main forces spread across the tiers, the disfavored and Scarlet Chorus redeploy to Vendrian's Well to crush the resistance. But months pass with no definitive battle. As disagreement and discord paralyze the Archons, we bide our time and wait for our message of insurrection to spread across the tiers. The Overlord is not amused, and Kairos has one message for the Archons: crush the Oathbreakers or die. Kairos backs this threat with an edict, a magical commandment that can slay all in the valley should the order be ignored. The honor of proclaiming this edict fell to you. Sent across the mountains to Vendrian's Well, you carry the Overlord's edict to read before the Archons. As you finally make your way through the winding mountain passes into the valley, the ground trembles, and Kairos' magic seals the way behind you.
Yeah.
You are trapped in Vendrian's Well, with Kairos' armies and the Oathbreakers. The only way to survive is to fulfill the terms of the Overlord's edict, in any way that you can.
Oh, that's cool. Fatebinder Warrior, I presume. We've been expecting you. This is your first visit to the world of Tyranny. Watch for these windows to help you become familiar with the game. You can disable tutorial messages at any time. Okay, cool. Well, I haven't played it for a while, so it's probably a good idea to keep some tooltips on. Aurora. Kairos the Overlord be praised. When I heard the avalanche, I feared the valley was sealed with you on the other side. The disfavored warrior claps her gauntlet to her breastplate, the traditional salute of our legion. Conversations involve you, another character, and sometimes additional parties like bystanders or companions who may interject. The choices you make change how the story develops and will build a reputation for your character over time. People in the world will learn of your reputations, good and bad, and respond accordingly. Your character's attributes, skills, history, and gender, as well as decisions you made in the conquest, may all open up options for your dialogue. These options are not necessarily superior to the other responses, but will give a wider variety of choices to select from. The manner in which someone responds to your choices depends on their individual personality and attitude. Cool. Each character who speaks to you will display a banner beneath their portrait. These banners indicate which faction the character is allied with. The tooltip on these banners will provide details about how that faction feels about you. Cool. You will often see the names of important characters and locations displayed in a gold text color. The tooltips on these glossary entries provide you with important information about the world. Okay. Aurora. The commander wouldn't say why the governor of Lethian's Crossing would be coming. But since we have no forges here, I imagine you're here to knock some sense into the voices of Narat. She scratches herself, clearing her throat with a smile. I mean, mediate with the Archons so that we might agree on a plan to wipe out these Oathbreakers. Disfavored. Favor, 41%. Okay. Glare silently. I'm in a hurry to deliver a message to the Archons. I come bearing an edict of Kairos. Our soldiers will complete their task or die. Law 20. Can you hear that hum in the air? That glow around the rocks? The avalanche is Kairos' magic. The Overlord has sealed the valley. Yeah, let's get a little bit of lore. Can you hear that hum in the air? They glow around the rocks. The avalanche is Kairos' magic. The Overlord has sealed the valley. Aurora, your senses see more than mine, good fate binder. I do not pretend to know much about such things. But if that was Kairos' magic and you're here on important business, well, you don't have to be the Archon of Secrets to guess that you're here to proclaim an edict. What does Kairos have in store for the enemy? 10 years of festering plague? An edict of twisted bones? Glare silently. Nervous smile creeps over her as she waits for a response that doesn't arrive. I'm asking questions beyond my station. She dips low, trembling as she bows. Forgiveness, please. Well, you've travelled a long way. I won't keep you further. I'm sure the Archons will want to hear from you at... Her voice falls silent, her attention snapping eastward with alarm. Did you hear that? More runners. Third time this week. The Oathbreakers keep trying to send messages through the mountains to gather help from outside the valley. She points over to the collapsed path by which you arrived. They're a bit too late for that now. Come, let's show these Oathbreakers a good fight. Yes.
Right.
Alright, combat. Tyranny uses a pausable real-time combat system because you will often manage more than one character at a time. It's a good idea to pause the game, issue orders and resume real-time to see the orders play out. The options menu also contains many choices for automatic pausing when certain conditions are met, e.g. the start of combat. Press spacebar to pause and unpause the game. Pardon me. Your character can always perform basic attacks using their equipped weapon or their fists if fighting unarmed. Characters also have special abilities and spells they can use in combat. When a character is selected, their ability bar displays their hotkey abilities. As new abilities and spells are gained, they are automatically added to the ability bar. Okay, yeah, alright. All of your character's abilities and spells can be accessed by selecting the category icon at the bottom of the selected frame. Abilities are grouped into talents, spells, combo abilities, artifact abilities, reputation abilities, and stances. Category icons for weapon sets and quick items follow. Alright. So we got thrust, we got slice, we got heart shot, and we got concealing shadows. Plus 100% graze deflection, negative 100 accuracy, plus 200 dodge, plus 200 parry. Oh yeah. That's cool. To use an ability, left click on the ability icon or press the hotkey corresponding to its location on the ability bar. Your cursor will change to indicate whether your mouse is over a valid target for the ability. If the cursor has a red X in the corner, you are not over a valid target. If the cursor has a pair of feet in the corner, you will need to move closer to the target to use the ability. For abilities that target party members, healing spells buffs, you can click on the party portrait to target the ability to that party member, okay. All characters in the game, friend or foe, have 5 primary defenses against attacks: parry, dodge, endurance, will, and magic. These defenses are based on the character's attributes, equipped items, and other effects. A character's accuracy is based on their skill with the type of weapon they are wielding. Accuracy is compared to the appropriate defenses when an attack is made to determine how likely it is the attack will be hit. Yep, pretty standard stuff. There are 4 possible results from any attack: hit, critical hit, graze, and miss. A critical hit increases your damage, while a graze reduces it. With each attack, you gain experience in the weapon skill used to make the attack. Even a miss will grant some experience. Okay. So let's slice that guy. Let's rush
Will do.
that guy. There we go, blade. That's one down. Let's check further along the path for more. Level up. There are 6 categories of talents available on your character: leadership, defense, power, agility, ranged, and magic. With each level you gain 1 point to purchase a talent from any of these categories. Within a talent tree, each tier of talents unlocks based on how many talent points have been spent within that tree. To learn a talent, select its icon and then hit the save button to confirm your choice. Each companion has their own talent trees with unique abilities. These abilities unlock in the same manner as your character's talents. As you spend points within a companion talent tree, further tiers of talents become available. Okay. Pull this stuff up here. We got a journal. We got a spell creation. Okay. Let's just move over this way then for now. Avalanche has us blocked. Think you could fit through that rubble? Squeeze through the gap. Press your weight against the boulder directly. Yes. Your strength
On
all
it.
the way. Oh, that work.
Right.
A bit of action going here. Yeah.
I got it.
Okay, engagement. One of your characters has been engaged in melee. When characters are engaged, they immediately stop moving. If they move away from the enemy engaging them, they will provoke a powerful disengagement attack.
Will do.
Makes sense?
I got it.
Your characters will also automatically engage enemies when they initiate attacks against them. When the selected character is engaged, your cursor will change to a red circle of 4 wedges. This indicates that moving the character will provoke a... Yep, okay. Engagement is indicated by arrows drawn between the selection circles of enemies. Okay. Yep. Character recovery. All characters, friend or foe, must recover after every action they take in combat. This recovery timer is displayed above each character in combat. The length of recovery time varies based on the character, the weapon they are wielding, the armor they have equipped. Yep, okay. If you issue an action to a character and want to cancel it, you can press X with that character selected. Once the action has progressed far enough, it cannot be cancelled. Yep, okay, cool. Knocked out. Ouch, when a party member is reduced to 0 health, they are knocked out. This means they are out of the fight, but as long as your side is victorious, they will regenerate their health when combat ends. Being knocked out applies a wound to the character, reducing their maximum health for future combats unless they rest or level up. Okay. Interactive objects. Hold down the tab. Yeah. Oh, hold down the tab key. Ah, yes. Interact here, take all. So does that mean we can interact with this guy back here? Yes. potion of protection and a whetstone. Nice. Huh. This guy's not looking too good. Don't bother with me. Go down to the pass. Rastus. Soldier clutches his gut and winces. You can see a hint of entrails between his fingers. You're wounded, and it's not trivial. He laughs through clenched teeth. This, but a scratch. I've seen twice as worse, 10 times over. Doubles over in pain, gagging and shivering. If you'll let me help. Keep hold of your guts then farewell. Releases his wound to flash you a pain salute. Hail Kairos. Sounds like you're gonna die, mate.
Can't do that.
Zoom out a bit. We got a mushroom. Waking death.
Sorry, can't.
You'll have to hit harder than that! Try and catch me, worm.
Young Scarlet Fury weaves around the Vendrian Guard attackers, avoiding their weapons with a fluid grace. She nods to acknowledge you. Breathless enemy soldier passes a glance to her countrymen. This one's crazy. Too much lead in her water. We should cut our losses and turn back.
Fate Finder. Here at last. Here to join me in putting these cowards out of their misery.
He nods to the armed soldiers bearing down on her. Join the battle. Yeah. From the realm of Apex, charge. Vendrian Guard level their weapons in advance.
Right. On it. Yes.
Oh, okay, I
On
can
it.
control her. Alright. The hell? Why did he run over here and stuff? Okay. I need to learn a thing or two about
I don't think so.
controlling Heaps.
Phew. I can tell you didn't spend the conquest in a diplomat's tent.
Spider surveys the fresh corpses and nods with satisfaction.
I'm versed, by the way. But there are more important things to take care of than introductions. Those Vendrian Guard we killed didn't come alone.
Gestures to the skirmish unfolding in the pass below, shaking her head. Join the battle, I'm ready if you are. Not so fast, first explain what you're doing here. Why are the Vendrian Guard attacking now? You fight like a storm, what's your role in the army? You're dismissed, soldier. If I need you, I'll find you at the Scarlet Chorus camp. Verse. Okay, so she's under my banner.
The voices of Nerat told me to intercept you at Edgering Ruins before you busied yourself solving all of the camp's problems. Guess I was too late. You're due for a meeting with the Archons, but we should handle the small matter of this ambush first.
Join the battle,
Eager.
I'm ready if you are.
I like that. Before we go, you might search among the remains of our fallen comrades. Wherever they're bound, I doubt they'll miss their boots, much less any rings or any useful iron they might be clutching.
See your point. Nice.
No reason to pity the fallen. Before long, we might wish we'd joined them here. But at least we'll enjoy heavy pockets and warm toes. For the voices of Nerat!
Verse furrows her brow and focuses down on the battle to come and conversation. Alright, well, I think that's a good place to end the episode. Very story heavy episode, obviously, establishing exactly where we're starting from. A little bit of action towards the end, but the second episode, if you're willing to join me for it, hopefully we'll see a little bit more of that, a bit more action. So, thank you very much for joining me today. especially if you've made it through to this point in the video. Please like and subscribe. And yeah, throw me a comment. Let me know what you think. Are you liking the game so far? Yeah, let me know if there's any problems in the quality or the sound or whatever. And yeah, other than that, hope you have a good day, have a good night, have a good morning, whatever it is. And never stop loving life. I'll see you in the next one.